morning, traders. Happy Tuesday, Taco Tuesdays once again. We are back in the saddle. Oh, feels good to be back. Took a couple adventures. Yeah, so anyhow, I'm back on the scene with a pocket full of green. Um, so, so let me try to catch up with what's been going on. I watched a couple videos late yesterday, and I see a couple stocks was moving. It was a big day yesterday. Man, looks like it could have been a lot of profit potential for anybody trading yesterday. Looks like to me that looks like liquidity is back in the market, and that's always a good thing. Well, volatility rather is back, and the liquidity is always there. But volatility looks like it from yesterday anyway. It was back, and but I think back historically the last year since I've been trading, and I've also looked and been observing the market for maybe like 2 to 3 years, but I actually started day trading February last year. But anyhow, um, November and December is usually very good times for us low cap guys. As far as volatility, as far as a lot of movement, you know what I mean. Big range between in stocks and the prices. Large range, so you can make money either way, long, short, however you do it, options. But yeah, that's historically. November's are pretty volatile. November and December, and I think January it starts to kind of fade off after that. You get opportunity year round, but the most opportunity you're gonna get usually is this time. So the long and short of that is, it's time, baby. It's time to make some money. Volatility is here. Um, let's see what's out there. Anyway, I see yesterday. I'm looking at the BOXL that took off. Oh man, this is one of those. I tell you, you have to uh, you have to be an expert at these stocks here. Why? Because they move so fast, and they barely give you a decent entry. You know, where you have a good solid risk. Um, the only risk levels that you could really set with stocks that are parabolic like this is at the whole dollar, half dollars. That's pretty much how it goes. And I've noticed that over the years. Like, I've always looked at stocks like these and wondered, like, okay, I see it going up. Like, okay, start back here. You see it's going up here, and then on a daily, where is that? So it was down here, and it's like, okay, it starts to take off. At this point, you could say the best risk level would be at the moving averages or the VWAP. Uh, but then again, I've seen it so many times where that's just, this play here is like one in every 100 setups you see. Out of every 100 setups that you watch, or every 200 or 300 setups you watch, this happens about once or a couple times within that 100. So you can't always rely on that. That's the only reason I don't necessarily. But that, if you really know what you're doing, that's why you really have to know fully. I have my own thing, my own strategy, and it's just a little different from this one. But um, yeah, I give it to those who could play these stocks, because this was a lot of money to be made, man. Jumped up from under $3 in pre-market. Yeah, the guy was all the way down here to the 290 area. Jumped up past $3, and $3 is usually a magnetic point. It's almost like all whole dollars, but between the I've noticed between the $1 mark, the dollar mark, the $3 mark, $2, I see those kind of run a little easier, but the $1 and the $3, it's usually too hard to break areas. They'll break, but they don't usually hold. You know what I mean? It'll go up to like three. If say for instance the stock was at 250, it started running. I typically see where it'll go up to. It'll jump. Sometimes it'll just barely hit three, and then sometimes it'll jump up to 313, 323, 327, or somewhere around there, and then it comes back up under the three. So those areas are real sticky, man. The dollars of the dollar, any whole dollar, but I've noticed especially $1, $3. I don't really watch the higher cap stocks, so I couldn't tell you what those were, but just keep that in mind, man. It gets very sticky at these whole dollars. What the hell? And we're back. Sorry, guys. I thought I had a technical difficulties there, but yeah. Anywho, a couple stocks was moving yesterday. I see. I just came back late afternoon yesterday. Missed the party yesterday, but you know what that usually means? That usually means that is the start of what are things to come. Usually, there are a couple parabolic stocks. This is what I always see over the year. A couple parabolic stocks that take off, you know what I mean, all in one day. But then the following couple days, sometimes it's just a few days, sometimes it's a couple weeks after that, you're going to see some sympathy momentum. That's what some of the pros call it. So you see what happened yesterday. So now you're going to see, I promise you, you're going to see some stocks taking off very similarly today. That's just the way it goes. Basically, what it is traders. They saw the action yesterday. Some of them missed out. You know what I mean? Some of them made good money. But then when they see it, they're like, oh, I gotta find the next one. We gotta find the next one. It's hot right now. The market is hot. So let's find another one. So with that, they spot anything that starts to move, everybody's jumping in. You know what I mean? So you're gonna see some plays today. So anyway, the BOXL yesterday it took off. I mean, if you really watch here, I mean, from it took off, and then it dropped. Another one was RSLS. Man, I mean, if you look at the charts, typical pump and dump, but that never means it's not enough. It's not any money to be made. It doesn't matter what it is. You know what I mean? So anyway, looking at this one, this started at under a dollar seven. We're at $1.70. It hit a low of $1.70, and then it shot up. Okay, here we are. Yeah, sorry, I was looking at the wrong day, but anyway, it started at the $2 area. I mean, you got to be a pro to play these plays here. Yeah, but anyway, I'm back from my hiatus. I missed yesterday, missed Friday, so I've been gone about 4 days, coming back here 5 days. So hey, it's good to be back, man. Good to be back trading. Um, but the momentum looks to be back. But that was just a crazy move by RSLS from the $2 area all the way up to 732. That's $5, a little over $5 move by 10 o'clock, 10 before 10:30. So I'm gonna say from 9 to 10:30. So hour and a half. This stock jumped over $5. So in an hour and a half, if you had hypothetically 1,000 shares, just 1,000 shares at the $2 area, which is only $2,000 of buying power. So if you had $2,000 and you saw this stock, you know, this is hypothetical, just to stay excited, man. It just keeps you excited when you hear what could be and what the market can give you. Anyway, you had the 1,000 shares at the $2 area. If you caught it back there and you held it for just an hour and a half, you would have made $5,000. $5,000 in an hour and a half of work. That's just with 1,000 shares. Now you know it grows exponentially with the amount of shares. You had 10,000 shares. That's $50,000. You hear what I'm saying? If you had 10,000 shares, you could have made $50,000 in an hour and a half of work. That's the potential of this market. So you have to try to. That's why you have to be mindful and catch these moves when you see them happening. You gotta know how to play them. You gotta take advantage. That's where you make the most money in the markets. There's a lot of other ways, there's slower ways, but that's the quickest way to wealth in the market. It's finding parabolic stocks, figuring the direction. You have to figure the direction first before you even make the trade, obviously. And once you figure out how to determine the direction, you just find a proper entry at that point. So let's see, it's coming up to that like I said in a prior video, you know how they say it's coming up to a whole dollar. Well, it's coming up to a whole hour. A lot of people don't talk about time as far as when it comes to trading. That's a very significant thing to watch as well. But I'll get into that at another time. But anyway, it's coming up to the 8 o'clock, so therefore you see stocks starting to really move. I explained in another video why this is and what the different times mean when it comes to trading. So I won't get into it here, but it's coming up to the whole hour, just like we talk about whole dollars. We're coming up to a whole hour, so you're gonna see a little movement, extra movement, as you can see here. I got this stock on watch. ATXI had some good news. Invigen to acquire 33.3% stake in Avenue Therapeutics. So that's a promising sign for a company when another company buys this many shares of your company. That's a bit of faith in you. That's a bit of belief that you're gonna grow. So that's always good for the long term anyway. So anyway, that's the news on it. Just broke over the 200, the 200. So you got to watch out for that. But it just broke over the 200. That's always a strong bullish signal. So anyway, it's coming up to that 8 o'clock. I thought I was recording earlier. I don't know if that is gonna show up when this live ends, but I was recording from 7:45. I'm gonna probably shut it down here at 8 or shortly after. I just turned the live back on. I thought it was off, but I think it may have been on. So I'll go back and check. But so you may only be getting 10 minutes of my footage or less than that because I started it back up at like 7:52. I was talking, running my mouth from 7:45, but it wasn't recording like I thought it was. So anyway, it's a short and sweet one. I am back. We're gonna see what's out here to play. Let's go ahead and see it. Go and check out some stocks to watch, and then I'll get out of your way, guys. See what's moving. 8 o'clock. What did I tell you about time? Hold time. Just like you got to hold dollars, you got to hold time. At 8 o'clock, this news came out. The stock moved at just before 8, but it's gonna move because of the news. But you see, the 8 o'clock things start to get a little more active. Give you an example right now. I gave this example in a prior video. I'm gonna just go to news, and you're gonna see how many articles came out at 8 o'clock on the dot. It's a time that you have to keep in mind. A lot of people don't even know this. See how many news articles came out at 8. This is every day. Now then you look at the other times and you see it's way less. 7:56, 7:55. See how quickly you can get through these. But as soon as you hit 8, you're gonna see all of these, and this is every day. And that's why you see so much movement at the whole hour as well. Yeah, I need to patent that. You know, everybody talks about the whole dollar. Nobody talks about the whole hour. That's a good area to watch when you're looking at a stock. If a stock, say a stock is, being stubborn and it's kind of sitting still, and it's not making any moves one way or the other. Well, you wait and look at those whole hours for your decision making time. But I'll leave that for another episode. If you have been watching, if you're watching, then you will get those gems. If you look at my videos all the way through, there's gems in each and every one of them. Yeah, hey, it's like gold. It's hidden and you gotta find it. You gotta go searching for it, and you will get the treasure if you search for it. So you go through the videos, listen to the videos. You will get some gold like that. I've explained that whole 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock deal, 7 o'clock deal. I've explained it all. But anyway, right now, got a couple things kind of moving around. GLBS with a big move after hours yesterday. I see from this morning, I see that. That's one to watch. Let me go ahead and put these on us. I don't have it on my watch list because you see my watch list here. I don't have it on mine because it is restricted on SureTrader with margin. So I could only use my equity on that trade. And being that it's a $10 stock, it wouldn't be worth it with $687 buying a $10 stock. You would get like 68 shares. So that's a no-go. So anyway, yeah, GLBS is moving around. It got some news after hours. Yesterday, it returns to profitability and in the revenue climb. So that's definitely good news for it. Jump down from this $7 area, hit a high of over $11, close to $12, almost a $5 move. So yep, that's one to keep on watch for guys that can trade it with higher equity. And perhaps the way it moves, you can trade it with lower. Um, you can trade it with the low equity actually, and still be profitable if it's moving dollars at a time. If it's moving from $8 to $9 to $10 like quickly like that, and if it can continue that, you can take 100 shares starter and still make $100 if it moves a dollar. But you would need a whole dollar. See that's the thing about that. Your risk to reward. I mean, you need a whole dollar just to make $100. I mean, if that's just not realistic or sustainable, it can happen, does happen, will happen a lot of times, but it's just not the way to trade. Let's see. And so you got ATXI so far and GLBS. Take a picture of the overall market. What I usually look at is to get a very quick overlook is the direction portfolio, the inverse 3 times ETF. So when I look at this, I automatically know the market is up. Why? Because this is an inverse ETF, meaning it does the opposite, or it's supposed to do the opposite of what the market is doing. I could look at the long, but some reason I just like to look at this one, and it because it's way more clear. If it's going down, now watch. Let me go ahead and look at the market. That this tells you that the market. Let me just go ahead and go over this one more time. So by this going down, it's telling you that the market is up. So now watch. I'm gonna go ahead and show you how that is true. Let's go back out, and sure enough, the market is up. It's gapped up actually. Gapped up from yesterday to today. So that there you go. So anyway, the overall market is up. ATXI back on the move. A little bounce. Yep, couple things moving, and it's early, so give it time. As it gets closer to the bell, a lot of times more things open up. Ever is down big, but it's not on any volume though. But it's down pretty big. $12 down to $10. Those are not the kind of plays that I play, but there is a lot of money to be made in bounce plays. If a stock is overly oversold, super oversold, you can make money on a quick bounce, or what they call a cat bounce, dead cat bounce. I'm sorry. Um, that's not really something I know much about, but I do see that a lot of times there's a lot of money to be made in that. A lot of times the stock will drop down to $10 and it'll shoot back up to like 10.80 something. You know. So 1 second, guys. Yeah. So anyway, that's not what I play, so I'm not even gonna stick to that. ATXI taking a nosedive from what I'm seeing. The bottom fell out on it. But overall, I can see from this quick overview of the market, there's a lot of movement, and that's what you want to see. Wait a minute, how did I get that one on here? Ah, I see. Sorry guys, yeah, my scanner, yeah, it's dusty. I'm just opening up, and I'm noticed. I'm like, why am I seeing $200 stocks? I only have my scanner set to $15 and under. And I'm like, why in the heck am I seeing 200? So that's what that was about. I see some things moving. They just need a little more volume. 910 to 970. Wow. Yeah, that's what happens. What happens when there's no liquidity? It can move all over the place. You jump in there if you want. That's why people say always wait till you have liquidity, have enough volume. Because stock like this, say you were the one, say you were short, say you saw it going down here at 920, it had jumped up. But even then, let's see how the bid and ask is. But look at the bid and ask. the spread is usually super large. So that means as soon as you jump in a trade, whether long or short, if you jump in short at 917, you got a over 50 cent loss already. On paper anyway, until it closes up. And then also, if you on the other side, if you're on the long side and you bought at 970, you got over 50 cent loss if you were to sell at the bid as soon as you bought. If you were to sell as soon as you bought, you already lost 50 cent, over 50 cent. So you don't play stocks that has no volume. That's why um, any professional trader always preaches make sure the stock has volume, plenty of volume. So therefore, stuff like that is way less. VKTX is on the move. I remember VKTX, man, when it was down here at the $2 area. I remember this time. It's amazing to see it up where it is. But let's see if it sustains that. But just the fact that it has been going up from back when I remember it trading every day at $2 to $3, $4, $5, and back down to see where it is now. It's something. All right, guys. I think I'm gonna go ahead and close out here. But the overall market is looking good, I will say. It's a lot more active today than a lot of days. That's a good sign. That means plenty of opportunity. Just make sure you have a plan. Message of the day. You fail to plan, you plan to fail. So have a plan going into any trade that you make. Have your profit target. Have your stop loss mentally or either hard stops. Have those things already planned out before you get in the trade. Because think about it, if you don't have that planned out, you stand to your chances of losing a lot more is higher because you don't have a plan. If a stock starts to drop, that will get you in that psychological area of, oh, let me just hold it until it may hopefully it goes back up. Let me hold it and minimize my loss. You wouldn't have to say that if you had a proper stop loss area. You know what I mean? So if you have an area already, then you'll once it hits that, you're out. Period. Or if it's not there yet, you won't question the trade. You'll just let the trade work until it gets there. So have a plan in this market. That in itself will lower your anxiety. That'll lower that fearful feeling. When you're going into getting ready to get into the market. I've felt that many days. The butterflies. That excitement. You're getting into the market. But when you have a plan, that minimizes all of that. That's the secret. That's one secret I'm giving you guys, man. I should have been charging for that secret there. Um, but yeah, I'm joking. But yeah, that's the secret. If the more you have a plan, the more you're ready, the less fearful you'll be. The less that goes with life in general. In any situation, the more prepared you are, like they say, if you're already ready, you don't have to get ready. You know what I mean? So, the more prepared you are in a situation, the less fearful you'll be of it because you know it. Think about when you started your first job or when you had to talk in front of people for the first time or when you had to ride a bike or get on, whatever the case may be. Any of those things, the first time you did it, usually there was some fear involved, a little anxiety. You know what I mean? But as you got better, just like at your job, as you got good, if you got, say, 5 years in, 10 years in, um, you're confident when you go in now. You don't even think about it. You know what I mean? It's just in the back of your mind now. Subconsciously, you know what to do day in and day out. There's no fear. Or just think when you made that first adventure, if you're a business owner, when you did your first jobs, your first couple jobs, or when you start to learn something, anything like learn the trade or learn whatever your business entails. When you originally started that, there I guarantee you had some anxiety, some fears, especially if it's dealing with people, customers. Me, I have a small business. I still have a small business, and it deals with people daily. My business involves dealing with customers on a daily basis. So when I first started, it was anxiety there. Like, oh man, just hope I do this right. I know what I'm doing. I've learned it. I know what I'm doing, but I just hope that everything goes. But over time, you do something long enough, you have a plan, you know what to do. Everything gets you just go in fearlessly. You don't even think about it. So that's how you got to get here. You got to get like that in the markets. You have to have a plan so that'll minimize your anxiety, fears. Because what? Why? Because if you have those fears, then that's what um, it will it will bend your mind on when it comes to trading. It'll it's a word I'm looking for. But anyway, it will um, hinder. That's the more that's the craziest way to put it, but yeah, it definitely will modify your trade, man. It'll just take you off your pivot when you have those fears and you have that anxiety, even if you have a plan. So you gotta get rid of those feelings. All right, that was the message of the day. That was a powerful message, actually. You guys are getting gold, for the beautiful price of $3.99. So take that stuff and run with it. All right, so I'll see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm good, yeah. But then the rest of the week, Thursday and Friday, I will not be in. Well, actually, let me double check. One of those days I won't be in here. But anyway, you guys, hey, let's get to it.